It's your buddy John back with the week 11 update. Welcome back. Excited for you to be here. Got a lot for this week. I'm going to try to make it quick, but just some things I want to cover. So let's get into it. This week, eating. Take a quick look. Okay. Yeah. So 7 pounds of ground turkey, 42 egg whites, 12 whole eggs, 2 cups of jasmine rice, 7 cups of spinach, 7 cups of green peppers, 7 cups of cucumbers, and some olive oil, usually with these eggs. But I'll get into all that. Uh, Eating went pretty well this week. I can't complain. I switched up my diet a little bit, and I'll explain that a little bit later, so stick with me. Walking this week was just around 40 miles. We just hit 40 miles, just over 40. Little bit of little change there. Some of these, it was a real windy week this week. So some of these, there was at least one night I remember specifically. I got about halfway through what I would normally walk, and with the wind and taking the route I was walking, it was kind of blowing me all over the place. I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I quit a little bit early. So the other nights I accomplished what I wanted to, but there was at least one night with the weather the way it was, and it could have been diet change as well. It just wasn't all in. So we only did about half. Sleeping this week was not bad, I would say. I wouldn't call it great, but we did about 6.5 hours a night. And it wasn't so imbalanced like it was last week, where it was about 4 hours for the first 4 or 5 nights of the week. And then I got 10 and 8 hours at the end to kind of clutch it up for the week. We're going to try to do better this week, but we got to take what we can get. 6.5 hours on average. I'm good with it. I won't complain about it. So let's get into, if you noticed my eating this week, there was some changes in what I was eating and the amounts I was eating. And that was due to the fact I saw a video about insulin resistance. And, I had noticed some things in the last year or so with my body, things that I hadn't seen before that I'm seeing now. And I was wondering what it was, and I didn't really look too much into it. But then I saw a video about being able to tell if you're insulin resistant by looking at your toes. And it says if you have no hair on your toes, that's one of the easiest signs to diagnose it. So uh, my toes don't have hair anymore. They used to have hair on them, obviously. My lower legs have lost some of their hair. Don't know if that's necessarily connected. But there were other things in the video. Dark parts of your skin, usually around your knees, your neck, and your armpits. And underneath my armpits, it is kind of dark. Skin tags coming out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I had skin tags under my arms and my inner thighs. There was something else too. Oh, and then, having a gut, all that visceral fat getting stored in your stomach. So, those are just some of the things that were in the video. I'm not diagnosing myself. Those were just things that the doctor was explaining. And I thought to myself, like, yeah, these are all things that I'm dealing with. So, I may be insulin resistant. Also, uh, like if I get a cut, if I get a scrape or whatever, it takes forever to heal. I also hear that's another issue with insulin resistance. So, and insulin resistance, for those who don't know, is your body, anytime you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar spikes some and your body sends out insulin. Your pancreas sends out insulin. So if you're insulin resistant, your body's not too good dealing with the insulin that's released in your bloodstream. So your pancreas actually creates more insulin, which tells your body to store more fat. So it hasn't really bothered me or affected me in this weight loss thing I've been doing here, but we changed up the diet some this week. Instead of eating a few cups of jasmine rice a day like I normally do, I'm trying to keep it between 20 and 50 grams of carb for the day. And with the vegetables I eat, a cup of green peppers, cup of cucumbers, and a cup of spinach. I mean, that has carbs. This is very low, probably maybe in that 15 to 20 range. And then, I might have a little something else. I think I'm going to start eating almonds, and those have some carbs and all that. But the goal is to keep it under 50 so my blood doesn't spike and eat more fat. So when I make my eggs, I cook them in olive oil to get some of those healthy fats. You could do it other ways, like yogurt and cheese and all that, but I don't like any of that stuff. So, olive oils, as far as it goes for me, extra virgin olive oil. I'm not trying to be keto. I know a lot of people love keto and live by it. I'm just not one of those people, but I'm not pissing on it. Also, anything that I've just told you, I'm no doctor. This is just stuff I'm trying to figure out for myself so I can understand myself and best help myself going forward to continue what I'm doing and to continue to have the success we've had. So that's that. Now, this week, a buddy of mine, he's trying to change some things in his life and he started going to the gym. I have a gym in my garage, or I have a setup, not particularly like a full gym, but I've got everything I need to get in shape and get strong. And I haven't really used it. It's been sitting in there almost since I've been in this house. I've been in this house just over 3 years. Sorry. And I've had this stuff for at least 2.5 years set up in my garage and just never really used it. So this week we were talking while he's at the gym, and I got down on my bench and I noticed I have like a baseline that I just lift just when I'm messing around if I feel like it. And I can do 4 sets of 12 to 15. I'm not going to tell you the weight because it's embarrassing for someone being my size, so the actual weight I'm lifting. But I got about 7 or 8 in and was out of gas already. So I had to drop it down, and in order for me to complete numerous sets, it was like a loss of 40 pounds in terms of strength. So that was alarming to me. So going forward, I really need to get on my weight training. I've seen this before, when I started doing this, saying that you should do weight training while you're losing weight just to try to maintain strength and minimize muscle loss. I haven't. So obviously, with the weight I've lost, I have not done what I needed to do to maintain strength. So that's something we're going to work on going forward. Maybe it leads to me losing less weight each week because I'm going to be trying to build my muscle back up. But that's what it is. At the end of the day, losing weight is important, but I also want to be functionally fit and functionally strong. So just something that, if you're trying to consider this, something to seriously consider. You don't want to get humbled like I did. Secondly, I was looking at pictures in my phone this weekend. I don't have a lot of pictures of myself, and most of the reason I don't have a lot of pictures of myself is because I don't like looking at myself. And I haven't liked looking at myself for years. Every morning I walk by a big mirror in my bathroom to go take my morning piss, and I have not liked what I've seen for a long time. So when I'm looking through these pictures, there were some pictures that really stuck out to me, and I was thinking about it. Like I haven't really shared too many pictures with you. You guys have seen me start this. I'm mostly sitting behind the computer. You guys saw my start point, but I'm just going to share some pictures with you so you can tell me what you guys think. You guys seeing the difference. Here we go. So this picture that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share two pictures. And this was for an Easter event I went to April 9th, 2023. And so here is a picture of me from the front. And then I am going to put up a picture of me from the side. Or I guess it's not really specifically the side, but it's a little bit, a slightly different angle. You can really see just how big I am. And now I'm going to share a picture from the front that I took today, or that my daughter took today and sent to me so I could share it with you guys. And the difference to me, I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot, uh, the difference is very noticeable. Um, I haven't wore those pants in 3 years because I couldn't. I've had them; they've just been in my bottom drawer sitting there. So it's certainly nice to be able to pull out some of the stuff and put it on and wear it. I've always liked. I have a closet full of clothes that I just haven't been able to wear anymore. So it's nice to be able to put this stuff on and feel good in it. Now I'm going to show a picture from the side, or a similar angle to the one that is from the Easter photo. so you can really see the difference. And like I said, again, I like looking at these pictures. I don't get too excited about it. There are changes, obviously. There is a difference in how I look, but I still also understand that there's a long way to go. So do what you will with that. Lastly, I found myself watching a movie this weekend, and it's called Unbreakable. It was a Shyamalan movie starring Samuel L. Jackson, Robin Wright Penn, and Bruce Willis. And if you've never seen the movie, I'll give you a little background. Bruce Willis plays a guy who's, midlife. He's going through a divorce potentially. He's got a young kid. He works as a security guard, but he used to be like a football star in college. And, he's not particularly happy with where his life went. And so he survives a train crash, and he's the only person who survives it, and he's unharmed. And Samuel Jackson's character comes to him and he tells him that he may be a superhero. An extreme event like that, him surviving it with no issues, they should look into it. And Bruce Willis kind of pushes back on and doesn't believe it. But as the movie goes on, he does start to believe that maybe he does have some kind of special abilities. So when he finally buys in, he asks Elijah, Samuel Jackson's character, what he should do. And he does it. He goes to a train station, and everybody he touches, he can see something they've done in their life, something terrible. And he trails one guy home because the guy basically invaded someone's home, a family's home, and took the family hostage. And he goes in there, he takes the guy on, and he ends up killing him and saving the day. Next day, he's in the newspaper. He pushes the newspaper to his son. His son sees that was him, and he's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I am a superhero. So he goes to thank Elijah. And when he goes to thank Elijah, it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And it's very poignant to what we're talking about right here, what we're doing here on the channel. He walks in and he tells him, he says, Elijah says to David, that's Bruce Willis's character, he says, tell me something, David. When you woke up, was it still there? The sadness? And that really spoke to me because I know what that's like. I identify with David, being at a certain point in your life and looking around and feeling like nothing is going as you would want it to go. And, it's funny. I asked myself that this morning after I got off the scale. Was it still there? The sadness. And I can confidently say, no. It feels good to be on a mission right now. It feels good to have a purpose. The only thing that makes me nervous is whenever I get down to a weight that I'm happy with, I'm going to have to find something else to go after to avoid that feeling of purposelessness. It can invade at any time. And when it does, it can be debilitating. And I realized in life, there's a few options you always have, right? Anytime you're faced with a decision, like something like my weight and insulin resistance health issues, right? I can go one way, right? I can try to lose weight, or I can choose the other way and just say, I'm just going to keep eating myself to death. But the worst thing you can do is nothing. Inaction. That's the third thing. And many people get caught in that inaction phase. And when they get stuck there, it's a bad look and it feels bad. So I really enjoyed watching that movie this weekend. I'm glad that I got to see that. I'm glad that it was so impactful on me when I saw it, because that was the first thing I thought about. The many days I woke up feeling nothing but sadness, feeling like I was all on my own and that there was nothing I can do. But, I was wrong. And if you feel that way, then you are wrong too. There's always a decision for you to make. I'm not saying all decisions are created equal. I'm not saying that you're going to be faced with decisions that are necessarily fair, but you do have a say in what goes on. And I hope that you choose something one way or the other. I hope you don't choose an action. Well, I said all that. Let's get to the update. This is what you came to see for the week 11 update. I stepped on the scale this morning. The new weight for this week is 254.9, a loss of 4.6 pounds from last week. 4.6 pounds. We have lost over 52 pounds. 52 pounds in less than 3 months. It's a lot of weight. We've also lost some muscle, but I guess that's part of it if you're not going to weight train. But we're going to remedy that going forward. But 52 pounds in less than 3 months. This is the first time in a long time I've been proud of myself. Feels good. It feels good to be on point. Feels good to be on purpose. And yeah, the results speak for themselves. I guess the saying, so easy a caveman can do it, applies. Like, I don't think of myself as anything special. And to know that I've been able to lock onto this and get into the situation I'm in and to continue to have the energy to keep doing this week after week, I'm very happy with. So midway through the week on Wednesday, I switched up my diet after watching that video a little bit, cut carbs way down, and yeah, it felt pretty good. Maybe on that first day, Wednesday, I think that was the same day it was super windy. Maybe I had some energy fall off, and maybe that was part of it. Maybe that's why I wasn't into it. But the rest of the week it wasn't an issue. So super happy with the results this week. And we'll see what happens next week with a full week of eating this way and seeing how it goes. Now I want to get to the album of the week. The album of the week is August Burns Red, Rescue and Restore. August Burns Red's like, I don't know, Christian metal, I guess. Maybe you're not into that. I don't even know that I particularly am, but I definitely enjoy August Burns Red. And this album has all kinds of stuff on it. This album has Provision, which is one of my favorite songs, Spirit Breaker, Beauty and Tragedy. It's loaded from start to finish. I enjoy the album. It's something I enjoy listening to when I'm out and about. It makes me think about my own spirituality. I recommend it highly. Song of the week, T Grizzley, Activated. Now, I think this came out in 2014. T Grizzly's not particularly one of like my favorite rap artists, but I guess, he's a Detroit guy. He's got some songs that I do enjoy. Colors is a dope song. No Effort. Yeah, those are just a couple. If you've never listened to T Grizzly, he's got some stuff. I recommend checking him out. The rest of the top 10 will be down in the description. Check it out. Don't. It's up to you. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. If you're continuing to follow the channel and you're returning, thanks again. Appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe. I'll be checking the comments. If you leave anything, I'll be looking to respond to you. And that pretty much wraps all I have for this week. Thanks for being with me this long. I hope to see you in the future. And I look forward to the week 12 progress update. So with all that being said, it's your buddy John, out.
Dad, your hands are green. They were hit by lightning.